This is G with G Money Fashions. You know, it's been a minute, and I've had a lot of people ask me a lot of questions. They kind of been asking me about the older frames, and like I explained to them before in one of my videos, the thing about Cartier, why everybody really wants it, is its classiness, its mystique, and its power. There are a lot of frames out there on the market that are beautiful, gorgeous, but nothing compares to the red box. Let me just say that. Over 30 years of dealing with Cartier, selling them, repairing them, suggesting them to people which frames would be better for them, what style and what size. It makes such a big difference. Cartiers are an investment. Now, if you're going to buy the cheap ones that they got online, which most of the time people are selling them, they don't even know the name of the glasses. Like, they'll say, these are Gavernis, and Gavernis are square, or they're this, or they're that. No, they're not. When you really want to get into buying, like the Woods, the Mount Masons, Montagues, any one of the Buffalo, Horn, and always remember, when you buy buffalo horns, you look at one side of the temple when you buy it, and you look at the other side of the temple. You want to make sure that they match. I had a guy who bought a pair of buffaloes from somebody online. One side was a brownish tan, and the other side was whitish. That means there was two different pieces of buffalo bonded together. You want to make sure that both outer parts and inner parts, but both outer parts of the same color, which means they use the same horn. Maintenance on horn is really easy. You buy you some lanolin, which is a thin, you want to call like a thin, basically coating that goes over the buffalo horns, and it makes them more smoother. That's good on maintaining. The woods, like the blue ones I have on, Tulip woods, you just basically want to just keep them moist. You keep them in the bag, and you keep them in the closed, the closed case that they come in. When you want something to last, if you look at some of my videos, I have frames that are almost 30 years old. 30 years. I have one pair that's 40 years old, almost like one of the first Cartiers that came out. I've been a student of the game. I love Cartier. Shout out to the guys in Detroit that I know from back in the 80s, the real OGs that was wearing them. And a guy asked me, did Detroit put Cartier on the map? Now, I'm from New York, but I told him Cartier made such a significant bang in the 90s and 80s with the buffs. They, to me, were the first ones to really strike them down. Now, in New York and Jersey, the East Coast, a lot of cats was wearing Gazelles. A lot of guys was wearing the wire Cartiers, you know, like the Santos 62 Venodomes, or the joints Michael Douglas had on in Wall Street. You know, those are the Venodomes, or Christopher Walkens and James Bond, License to Kill, you know. Those with the screws, those are Santos, those are game. Cartier, you really don't need to add nothing to it, because they already, it's like a Mercedes. If you want to go ahead and get you some rims and change them out, that's fine. But Cartiers, you don't need to add nothing to them. The older Cartiers that were made like back in the 80s, in the 90s, they have a deep gold, a deep either 22 or 18 karat gold. Now, the only way you know that a pair of Cartiers are real gold, like the Privés, the diamond Privés, or they'll have 750 marked. 750 is the mark of the carat, basically 18 karat gold. The older Cartiers, they used a base stainless steel frame. Each frame was produced, and I don't mean made like these made today, these fakes. They were produced by hand. They were hand stamped and they only came out of France, not Italy. And the thing of it is, like I explain to people, when you buy the older Cartiers, you look at the gold, just like an older Santos watch, or you look at it and you see just that deep hue, that deep color in there, a richness. That's what Cartier is about, pure luxury. I just wanted to just talk over those couple of things, because I had a couple of people that were asking me. It was like, hey, I really want to start collecting older frames. And I see some online that some guys selling for $300. And then I see some that are $1,800, the same frame. I'm going to tell you why. The $300 frames have probably been welded. The gold is fading. The nose pieces are dirty. They're brown, dingy. That means you're putting your nose on somebody's old nose sweat. You don't know how many people wore those frames and had around their nose, and your bridge of your nose start breaking out. I've seen it happen. Behind the ears, some temples on the glasses are dirty and cracked. They need to be replaced, because that fungus, when it's warm, it can infect the back of your ear. You want to make sure that some of those that you buy, they don't have no box. Well, that's the difference when you buying a pair that are the same frame, but it depends on how good somebody kept them. You can look on my site, G Money Fashion on YouTube, and look at the different types of frames through the years that I've put on there. And you'll see what I mean about the difference in the color versus today and versus the frames from the 80s and 90s. Again, I thank you guys so much. This is Gary with G Money Fashions. Give me a like. If you like, please subscribe. And as always, happy Cartier hunting.